Okay. I just decided to switch over to video because I was recording a voice note that started to get really juicy and I wanted to record it. But I haven't recorded in a while. My lighting is, it's kind of whack and I'm not going to worry about any of that stuff today. But I was talking about how it's 3420 week. How's that been treating you? Um, and just feeling like I've been like, I have been meaning to sit down and record some more content to maybe talk about things that are going on, but I've just been too busy doing things to talk about them. So yeah, pretty major announcement coming, probably early next year, I think, looking at electional charts and stuff like that. But all of that aside, yeah, this 3420 week, this Mercury retrograde, especially as Mercury is activating all the outers that are having this conversation right now. Yeah, a lot of shit going on. But what I wanted to come on here today and say is that as a gate 54 Capricorn, I have this tendency to work really, really hard on something for a long time and stay focused on it. And I mean, part of that is the fact that I have like gate 5 and gate 9 and gate 34 and all these Sagittarius placements that I was actually just talking about in the voice note in the podcast. But I have this like tendency to just get really heads down on projects and work really hard on them, and then as soon as they're done, it's just like on to the next. Like what's next? What literally no memory of what just happened. Like, did I just finish something? I don't even know. But so I have to remind myself, like, calm the fuck down, dude. Remember what you just did and like maybe talk about it and maybe share it with people because people might actually care, right? So I think part of that is just like perfectionism and me trying to. I was unpacking this with my therapist today, whatever, right? But like I said, I have been working really hard on something this year and it's finally done. Boom. This is the workbook. It's the workbook that goes along with my course that has been kind of finished, kind of not finished for a while. And this is the reason why I have not been like talking about the course and selling the course is because the workbook hasn't been published yet, but it's finally here. It's done. It exists. It is print on demand. You can buy it. It will get shipped to your house. And it's a perfect little companion to my book. See? So we've got a reference book and we've got a workbook. So Guide to the Gates has been updated for 2025. What I changed about it was basically just to kind of reflect my evolution of my experience with human design because I wrote this before I found Zen human design and learned any of the stuff about like type and strategy being, and so I felt I needed to revise the book. Got that done. But yes, the workbook is done. And you guys, I was doing the work too as I was making this workbook. And it really brought a lot of things like into crystal clear focus in my life. Just not only looking at the ways that I relate to people, kind of the things that I'm looking for in outside of myself, or who lights me up, who doesn't, why I can have conflict with certain people. But it also clarified like the eras that I've had over my life. So anybody who's known me for more than 5 minutes probably like knows that I tend to like, I'm not a person that stays the same for very long. I'm just not. I've never been. I've always been this person that's like always growing and changing and turning into somebody new every single day. But this workbook, like doing the work in this book, really helped me understand why and kind of clarify some of the eras that I've had in my life that maybe I feel weird or guilty or shameful or awkward about. And it really just puts it into like contrast. I shared I've been sharing several stories with my tiny little amazing community. So if you want the whole story, you can join that. But there's the amount of shadow work you could do with this book alone is like it's probably worth a decade of therapy, right? And I'm not making medical claims. I'm just saying that that's how profound it was for me. So it's here. It comes along with the course. So if you buy the course, you get the workbook included, but you can also just buy the workbook if you don't want to drop $300 on the course, right? You can just get the workbook. I think it's $44. And yeah, it might take you could go through it in a week, but I would actually recommend taking like maybe 1 to 2 months as you go through it. So that you can really kind of, especially if it's your first time through human design, if you don't already know the centers and things like that. It's meaty. It doesn't like my gate 54 when I'm flipping through it. I'm like, oh, the print is kind of big. Oh, there's lots of blank space, but that's why it's awesome. The print is big, so it's not going to hurt your eyes. There's lots of room for you to, right? Get it out on paper. Get it out on paper instead of like squirreling it away in the internet where some AI is going to, right? So, yeah, I thought you guys might want to see that. And yeah, it's funny because I'm literally on to the next. I literally like cannot rest, but that is, it feels good to have it out. It feels good for it to be out in the world. I'm really excited for you to get a copy of it, and I can't wait to hear like what breakthroughs it is able to create for you. Yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being along on this journey. I'm going to go back to just voice note podcasting. So, yeah, if you are watching this on Instagram, you can come join me over here. All right.